Thanks for listening to Dads Doing Nerd Shit, a podcast by three dads who talk about the shit they're interested in. Just a heads up for the listener, we're not exactly experts, and you probably shouldn't be taking our advice. Our opinions are biased, well, because they're ours, and nobody really pays us to have a different opinion. We also tend to cuss, swear, say whatever the hell we want, so if you don't want your kids to hear it, make sure they're not in the room. With that out of the way, roll the dice and join us as we discuss the things we love and the culture around being a nerd.
Dusty, that's you.
That's you, bud.
Son of a bitch, I missed it again. God damn it. Welcome. Hi. Hello. We're going to get into to the fantasy world.
Fantasy.
Right? Fantasy. Where...
Hey, Mr. Fantasy, play us a tune. Sorry.
You're good. We're going to turn into animals and polymorph out of it and sit at the table and roll some dice, maybe? I don't know.
Well, not really.
You did
not really
talk about
dice.
rolling dice.
No.
You didn't pay attention to any of the pre-show, did you?
I sure as did. I just fucked up the intro.
Okay.
We are going to discuss who we would like to have our dream D&D table.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to polymorph ourselves after the break.
Anyways, I'm Jim.
I'm Matt.
You know who I am.
Good-unts. Yeah, we already said your name right at the top.
That's right.
So a dream D&D table, huh? I mean, who is the dream DM?
Outside of
let's
Critical Role?
let's add some rules to this.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So it's you. Let's call it 5 other players.
Okay.
And a DM.
All
or
right.
GM or whatever you want to. So starting GM or DM.
Yeah.
The table lead.
Game master or dungeon master. I mean, for me, everybody's going to say Matt Mercer, right? Sure. Honestly, Matt would be at the table. I wouldn't want Matt to DM. I would like to play with him.
Yeah.
So for me, he's out as DM. For Game Master, honestly, again, for me, right off the bat, I want to say our DM Zen. We've had him on the show. I really enjoy every game I've played with Zen has been fucking killer. But if we go celebrity, I'd be leaning towards someone like Brandon Lee Mulligan. Or honestly, I'd like to see Will Friedle GM a session. I think that would be a lot of fun. So Will Friedle would be my dream DM.
What kind of world do you think he would build?
That's his problem.
Right.
That's why I want him to GM the game, right? Because I think it would be mad interesting. And there'd be a zany seriousness to it, right?
I think you would definitely get like a Boy Meets World with Kim Possible and Thundercats. All 3 would be in there somehow.
But you can't forget Batman Beyond, right?
No, you can't.
We're kind of skirt-tailing him into his bigger stuff. He's been in a lot of shit.
A lot of stuff.
So, I mean, going with the big stuff, if he attacked us with a giant naked mole rat, I wouldn't be mad about that.
I wouldn't be mad either.
You know? While he's doing the naked mole rap, I'd be fine with it. So what do you got, Jim? Who would your dream DM GM be?
Definitely Brennan Lee Mulligan.
Yeah.
First of all, his level of like description, not even just description, just his overall, like, I guess you would call it like table manners, right? The way everything comes out, and he describes everything, and he brings everything together, and the NPC
you can really
voices.
see the room in the theater of your mind.
And not to put any shade on Matt Mercer, but Matt Mercer is very, like, I don't want to call it monologue-y or monochromatic when it comes to his descriptions.
Mm-hmm.
But Brennan is just more like...
This is what you see.
Cartoonish, almost.
Sure, for sure. Yeah, I get that. Have you watched EXU Calamity with him DMing?
I'm listening to it right now. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Right. The only difference that I see between Mercer and Mulligan is Brendan is nervous being on Critical Role, which is surprising to me from his time with, College Humor and
College
stuff.
Humor and Dimension 20 and
right. Yeah. He's done this a bunch of times, but I feel like they want everything to flow so smoothly it disrupts his process because he says
and the other thing is
a lot.
Well, he does that anyways, even on his own shows on Dimension 20.
Okay. See, I haven't watched too much of Dimension 20. Just a little bit.
But I think a lot of his nervousness on EXU Calamity is due to the fact that it's a prequel series of a cosmos that he had nothing to do with.
And he's a fan of it.
Right.
Right. Like
he is essentially
fan.
building the world that has already been built.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And there's things that cannot be changed.
Yep.
And he has to work around that, but it hasn't really been too much of a problem yet.
Knowing that's his enthusiasm when he finally gets past all the uhs and ums. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. His descriptions are phenomenal.
Right. And the other thing I love about Brennan is when cool shit happens at the table, he is on your side.
Right. Yeah. No role.
That's amazing.
Yes. You know that, Yeah.
I
do enjoy
he's a little bit more vocal about
he's not trying to kill the players. Right. He's not trying to kill them. He's playing the game with them.
Yeah.
And his position in the game is to facilitate as the mind of the monster. And his sound effects are fucking great. You know what I mean? I was going to say one of the other dream DMs I had on my list would be Liam from Critical Role.
Yeah.
When he GM'd the few games that he did a Stranger Things one, and it made me want to play the Stranger Things TTRPG, and I've never watched a single episode.
Right. Liam is more of a waxes poetic type DM, right?
He's like me. He is inadvertently chooses the edgelord character, even when he tries not to.
No, it's not even that. It's and
he's a theater kid.
Yeah, he's a theater kid, right? And Matt Mercer's really let him lean into it. Campaign 3
with Orem, oh for sure.
With Orem, with fully describing everything.
Right. Well, they found
his
that
actions
with
and stuff.
EXU with Abri Iyengar DMing. Liam, paints a good word picture.
If you let Liam talk, he will fucking talk.
And it's great. It works out. So, Dusty, what do you got for a dream GM for some D&D?
So, I've been thinking about it, and I think to play a dark campaign would kind of be pretty dope. A really dark campaign.
Sure.
And I would have to say Stephen King, because I bet he could build a really crazy fucking world.
And he would be so fucked up as a DM.
So fucked up as a DM.
You'd get the Emerald City, and you'd get baths, and it'd be great, and you'd have ribbons in your hair,
and then then
it all melts, and they're fucking zombies, and it stinks
then you're in
from the moonlight.
Yeah. Yep. And then you've got the Tommy knockers. And oh man.
It'd be cool. That's awesome. That's a good poll. Yeah.
But I would say to have him as a GM would be pretty dope.
Yeah.
So even if it was just a one shot.
Right. No, I mean, a one shot with Stephen King GMing any game, not even D&D. I think any game
just
would be
any
solid
TTRPG, even if it's just a narrative TTRPG.
Yep.
I think he would really shine in some of the more role play focused.
Oh yeah, Forged in the Dark, like Blades.
That was a great pun. Yeah. By the way, I enjoy your pun there, Jim.
What did I say?
You said he would shine. Ning.
He would be a shining example. So obviously, first player at the table is ourselves. Right. We got 5 other players. I started off the DM the first player next to me that I want to go.
Yep.
Joe Manganiello.
Joe Mang.
Matt or Jim's changes. Fuck. I wanted that one.
No. You can double up. I mean,
yeah.
That's true.
I just think watching him in Critical Role Campaign 1. I love Archon the Cruel.
Yeah.
I've watched a few other things where he gets to play Archon. And honestly, a few of my table picks, if you guys ever watched the live presentation of Jox Machina, where it was Travis, Joe Manganiello, and a few other bigger dudes playing D&D. One of them was the Big Show.
No shit.
Yeah.
And it was great. It was great, man. And I was like, this is fucking awesome. Just four dudes, Jox, playing D&D.
I'm going to have to check it out if the Big Show's in it. Because that's...
I mean, it's a live recording, right? They're at like a con. I understand why they chose, I can't remember his name, but he's big in D&D, right? Big with WotC. I wish they chose somebody else for Jox Machina because he was a little timid in front of all these big motherfuckers. At least that's how I felt watching it, right? So I was like, man, why didn't you get somebody with like a very robust fucking personality to stand next to these jocks? Like, come on. You got a dude who was in a male stripper movie, for Christ's sake, sitting right next to this fat dude who legit looks like a nerd who plays D&D.
I mean, Channing Tatum would have been a great one because I feel like Channing Tatum, like his personality just is as the
DM, right?
No, as a player, player.
Oh, you're saying you'd want Channing Tatum at your table?
Well, I wouldn't mind, but I'm just saying, like, somebody jockey like him.
Abs.
Just not.
So, Jim, who's your first pick for your table?
First pick of the table is somebody who is very animated and like it's Jack Black.
That would be dope.
He was a lot of fun in the stuff with Deborah Ann Wool and Matthew Lillard. I can't remember the name of it offhand, but that was a solid one.
Just having him at the table being like the hype man would be...
He'd be a perfect bard.
Right.
Oh,
like,
dude.
Hands down. Like, yeah, he doesn't even need to try, and he's already the perfect bard. Yeah, Jack Black would be perfect.
Would be fucking amazing.
And honestly, in some of the stuff that he's done with like Roll20 and, raising money for charities and stuff, playing D&D, he hasn't played those kind of characters.
Right.
I think in the one for Roll20 I'm thinking of, he played just like a grumpy dwarf. You know what I mean? And I was like, that makes sense.
Which totally fits him anyways.
It still fits, right? Like, yeah, he's great at either way, but man, could you imagine Sam Riegel and Jack Black?
Oh my God.
In a party as bards?
I don't think anything would ever get done.
It'd be so much fun though.
What about you, Dusty? Who's player number 2? After yourself.
Can we use living or dead?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
This is your dream table.
Robin Williams.
Ooh.
Oh God, that is solid. A good pull.
Yeah, solid. That's great, man.
I mean,
like, he could be
13. He could be 13 different characters.
Let's just say, okay, we all have our own dream GM. The dad's doing nerd shit. Dream DM is Robin Williams.
Oh, totally.
Oh, for sure.
He would be fucking killer as a GM. Like, oh my God, so much fun going. Like, we'd spend more time shopping than doing anything else because he wouldn't stifle.
All right.
Oh, I'm going to go into the shop, the cobblers, and get a new pair of boots.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, like, he'd just be going, and it would be, it'd be so cool. That would be great. Hell yeah. Yeah, I mean, mine's kind of a given, right? Like, Joe Mang, huge in the fucking D&D. I think Jack Black is an awesome call out. I mean, just our 3 picks so far are with Robin Williams running the table. That's fantastic. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But,
right.
So going on to the next player.